Hello everyone, this is Praveen Chitoju from Time Chan. Thanks for joining today's session. Today we are going to discuss about how to recover wasted labor cost using workforce analytics. Are you ready? And also we will discuss about how to reduce unproductive work hours by 20 to 40%. And also I will explain you the clear workforce analytics infrastructure, and also I will give you some solutions. So are you ready? Let's dive into the session. Let's start with a number that most business leaders do not want to hear. Between 15 and 30% of your labor costs are going towards unproductive work hours, not zero output, unproductive output. And here is the problem. Your current management approach probably is not catching it. Let me make this concrete. Take a 50% team with an average fully loaded labor cost of $40 per hour. That's salary, benefits, overhead, the real cost per employee hours. If the 30% of work hours are unproductive, if you are looking at 12,000 unproductive hours per employee annually, across 50 people, that's 600,000 hours. At $40 per hour, that's $312,000 in wasted labor expense. It is every single year. Now, some of you might be thinking, our team is performing well. We hit our targets. And that's exactly why this problem is invisible. The 2018 Udemy Workforce Distraction Report found that employees lost an average of 2.1 hours per day to distractions and task switching. Yes, that's 26% of an 8 hours work day. Not among underperformers, across the board. So why don't managers say this? I'll tell the reason. Because traditional management relies on output-based reviews. You measure deliverables, project completions, and quarterly goals. That approach catches severe underperformance. The employee who misses every deadline, but it completely misses the 15 to 30% of efficiency gap that exists even among your good performers. Finds interesting, right? Yes. And if you are managing remote or hybrid teams, this problem just got significantly worse. Microsoft's work trend index data shows that without physical presence, manager overestimates remote employee productivity by 20 to 30%. You think your distribution team is operating at 85% capacity. The reality might be closer to 50 to 60. Here is what critical to understand. Unproductive hours do not look like employees scrolling Instagram for 3 hours. That would be easy to spot. Instead, it's low value activities that feel like work, not real work. Excessive back and forth in Slack that could have been a 2-minute conversation. Yes, checking emails 17 times before lunch. Spending 90 minutes researching on decision that needed 15 minutes of focused thought. So, over-planning meetings that produce no action items. These activities create the appearance of busyness, but they don't move the needle. This is the hard truth. The question is not whether this productivity gap exists in your organization. The research tells us it does. The question is, do you have the visibility to measure it? The leaders who are here, I'm asking them, do you have the visibility to measure it? And the data do something about it. That's what we are going to unpack next. Are you ready? Yes. So what's driving these unproductive hours? Let's start with the most visible culprit. That is digital distraction and application misuse. Yes. Now, when most managers think about digital distractions, they picture employees scrolling Insta or shopping on Amazon. And yes, that happens. But the reality we see in actual tracking data is far more different and honestly more concerning. Here is what I call the productivity tool paradox. According to Asana's Anatomy of Work report, teams using 10 or more SaaS tools, which is most modern organizations, how much time they waste? Any guesses? I will tell you. They will waste 32 minutes every single day. It is for just switching between applications, one application to another application, not using them, just switching. Think about your own workflow. You are working in a document. A Slack notification pulls you away. You check your email while you are at it. Jump into your project management tool to update a task. Then realize you need to verify something in your CRM. 5 minutes later, you are starting at your original document, wondering where you left off. Yes, this is happening. The tracking data reveals a strange patterns. Employee toggles between applications every 3 to 5 minutes on average. And here is the kicker. The research from UC Irvine shows it takes 23 minutes to fully focus after each switch. 23 minutes. So that quick 2 minutes check of your emails doesn't cost you 2 minutes. It costs you 25 minutes when you factor in the recovery time to get back into defocus. But here is what makes this particularly insidious. A manufacturing company with 85 office staff implemented time champs application monitoring, expecting to catch social media abuse. What they found, instead of shocking them, their employees were spending an average of 47 minutes daily in work related applications like Slack, Teams, emails, but doing what we call passive scrolling. They reading conversation, they were not part of checking for updates that didn't exist, refreshing dashboards that updated automatically. Now let's talk about the second major cause of unproductive hours, and this one surprises a lot of leaders because it has nothing to do with employee motivation. It's workflow inefficiency, unclear processes, redundant approval chains, information silos, and manual tasks that honestly should have been automated earlier ago. Here is what most managers miss. When productivity drops, the instinct is to blame the employee. But activity timelines tells a different story, friends. They reveal that your people are not lazy, they are stuck in broken processes. Yes, this is the hard truth. The third major cause of unproductive hour is hiding in plain sight of everyone's calendar. Meeting overload. Here is the data point that should concern every operation leader. The average knowledge worker now spends 18 hours per a week in meetings. That's nearly half of standard work week. But here is what makes this truly costly. Workforce analytics consistently shows that 67% of meetings have unclear outcomes, and approximately half of the attendees are unnecessary. Am I correct? Yes. Let's look at how we got here. Microsoft analyzed their team usage data and found that meetings time has increased 252% in 2020 for the average user. We have normalized a triple booked calendar. We have accepted back-to-back video calls as standard operating procedure, and we have stopped asking the fundamental question: does this meeting actually need to happen? Now let's calculate the real cost. A 1 hour meeting with 8 people, assuming a $50 per hour average labor costs your organization $400. If that meeting lacks clear outcomes, if half those attendees are there just in case, or if no decisions are actually made, that's $400 pure waste. Multiply that across your organization's weekly meetings load, and you are looking at tens of thousands of dollars monthly. But the cost doesn't stop when the meeting ends. Workforce analytics reveal a pattern most managers miss. Employees with more than 15 hours of meetings weekly show 34% low productivity score in their focused work blocks. Why? Because constant context switching destroys deep work capacity. Yes. The fourth major cause of productivity error is one that many people do not even recognize they are doing: constant context switching disguised as multitasking. Here is uncomfortable truth: multitasking does not actually exist. Yes, what we call multitasking is really rapid task switching, and your brain pays a cognitive tax every single time it happens. Research from the University of California found that multitasking reduces productivity by 40% to increase error rates by 50%. That's not a small efficiency loss, that's catastrophic. But here is where workforce behavior analytics reveals the real problem. When we analyzed activity timelines data across thousands of employees, we found a striking pattern. High performers average 3 to 4 application switches per during the focused work blocks. Low performers, any guesses? I'll tell. 8 into 22 switches per hour, not per day. That is a switch every 3 to 4 minutes. You can't achieve flow state when your attention fragmentations that frequency. And the biggest culprit is, any guesses? Please chat in the comment box. I am revealing it. That is communication tools. Our tracking data shows employees check Slacks, Teams, and emails for what frequency? Every 6 minutes on average. Every 6 minutes on average, friends. That constant interruption completely prevents deep work. Call Newport research on deep work found that knowledge workers average only 1.5 hours of uninterrupted deep work daily. The rest of their workday is fragmented into shallow, reactive tasks that feel busy but deliver minimal value. Now, here is how actually measure this with the time champ. The activity timeline shows application focus duration for every employee. When we analyze productivity scores against focus block duration, we found something remarkable. Employees with average focus blocks under 12 minutes showed 45% lower productivity. When we analyze the productivity scores against focus block duration, we found something remarkable. Every employee focuses blocks under 12 minutes slows 55% lower productivity scores than those averaging 25 plus minutes blocks. You can't achieve flow state when your attention fragments every 3 to 4 minutes. Now we have identified the 4 major causes of unproductive hours. But here is the challenge every operation leader faces. You can't reduce what you don't measure. And that's where most productive initiatives fail. They rely on precision, managers' intuition, or employees' self-reporting, all of which are notorious unreliable. Studies show managers overestimate team productivity by an average of 42%, while employees overestimates their own productivity time by 30%, nearly 30%, for essential metrics for base measurement. So let's talk about the workforce analytics framework that actually works. There are 4 essential metrics you need to establish a baseline. Number 1, active work time percentage. This is the foundation. What percentage of logged hours involve actually keyboard and mouse activities versus idle time? Number 2, application category breakdown. This significant time into productive, unproductive, and neutral categories based on role requirements. Third one, ideal time analysis understands when and why employees step away from their workstations. And the fourth one, productivity scoring by role and team, which we will explain in detail. Typically, baseline discovers work hour breakdown. Here is how to establish your baseline. Track for 2 to 4 weeks without any intervention or communication about the monitoring. Just observe normal patterns. And here is what most organizations discover during this baseline period. Between 25 to 35% of work involve low value activities. That number shocks most leadership teams. A financial service company with 83 employees did this baseline tracking and discovered their actual productive work time averaged just 62%. They were playing for 40 hours per week but getting roughly 25 hours focused work. That is the labor efficiency gap of nearly 40%. 5 intervention strategies that reduce the waste hours. So you have got the data. You have measured the unproductive hours. You know where the time is going. Now comes the question every operation leader asks. What do we actually do about it? Because here is the reality. But without action, just expensive noise. The organization data actually reduces unproductive hours, and we are talking about 20 to 40% reductions in wasted time. They don't just measure, they intervene with the specific targeted strategies based on what the workforce analytics are telling them. Let me talk to you through 5 intervention strategies that have delivered measurable outcomes. Starting with the simple one, strategy 1, application access policies during focus blocks. A software development company with about 80 engineers was using app tracking data from TimeChamp and noticed something interesting. Their developers were getting interrupted by Slack notifications an average of 23 times per hour during what should have been deep work time. So they implemented what they called focus hours, 9 to 11 a.m. and 2 to 4 p.m. daily, where Slack notifications were visible company-wide and employees were encouraged to close email clients. They tracked productivity scores during these blocks versus the rest of the day. The results? Any guesses? Productivity scores during focus blocks increased 28% within 3 weeks. More importantly, code commit quality improved and Bugs rates dropped because developers were actually finishing thought process instead of constantly switching contexts. And that brings me to the final point here, the manager's visibility multiplier. When managers have access to workforce behavior analytics dashboards, not to micromanage, but to identify patterns, they catch productivity issues 6 to 8 weeks earlier than they would through the traditional quarterly performance reviews. Yes, that's early visibility means interventions happens when they are still coaching conversations, not performance improvement plans. It means you can address workflow problems before they become budget problems. It means you can identify burnouts before it becomes a turnover. These 5 strategies works because they are specific, they are measurable, and they are based on actual behavioral data, not assumptions. Not assumptions about what might be causing productivity problems. All right, you have covered the cause, the measurement framework, and the intervention strategies. Now let's talk about execution. Because knowing what to do and actually implementing it are two very different things. Here is the reality. Reducing unproductive hours is not switch you flip. It's a phased transformation that requires measurements before intervention, transparency before enforcement, and the data before decisions. Let me walk you through the 90-day roadmap that organizations are using to achieve measurable reduction in wasted hours. Are you ready? So, what are realistic? Organizations using this framework typically to reduce unproductive hours by 20 to 30% within 90 days. That translates to 8 to 12 hours of recovery productive time per employee every month. Let me give you a concrete ROI example. 50% team, $40 per hour average fully loaded labor cost, 10 hours recovered per person monthly. That's $20,000 in monthly value, $240,000 annually, and that's a conservative estimates based on just 10 hours recovery from employee when the data shows 8 to 12 is typical. Now, where does this TimeChamp fits into this roadmap? TimeChamp provides the app and the website tracking, idle time analysis, productivity scoring, activity timelines, and attendance verification you need for every single phase of this framework. You get the workforce behavior analytics to estimate baselines in phase 1, the productivity dashboards managers needs in phase 2, the activity timelines visibility to identify workflow gaps in phase 3, and the comparative response to the calculates ROI in phase 4. But here is what you don't get. The surveillance heavy approach of platforms like Terramine that focused primarily on insider threat detection, or the limited visibility of basic timeline trackers like Hubstaff that tells you when someone clocked in, but not what they actually accomplished. TimeChamp is built for specifically for this phased productivity improvement approach, visibility and analytics without excessive complexity or invasive monitoring that destroys trust. So let's bring this all together. We have covered 4 measurable causes of unproductive hours, that is digital distraction eating 20 to 30% of the workday, workflow inefficiency hiding in tool sprawl and approval bottlenecks, meeting overload consumptions 40% knowledge workers time, and context switching that reduces cognitive performance by up to 40%. Here is what matters. Every single one of these causes is measurable through workforce analytics. Yes, you are not guessing. You are not relying on any manager intuition or annual application usage. Actual ideal time patterns, actual calendar data, and actual task switching frequency. The organizations that are actually reducing unproductive hours, the ones seeing 20 to 40% improvement in billable utilization within 90 days, they all started the same way with baseline measurement. 2 weeks of tracking will reveal more about your productivity gaps than 6 months of traditional management observation. If you want to explore how TimeChamp's productivity analytics platform can help your organization and which measures and reduce unproductive hours without invasive surveillance, please visit timechamp.io and schedule a demo with our expertise team. We will show you exactly what 2 weeks of baseline measurement can reveal about your workforce utilization and what a 20 to 40% reduction in unproductive hours would means for your bottom line. Thanks for watching. Now we go measure something. This is Praveen Chittoju signing off. See you again with one more wonderful video. Thank you.